What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. We are about an hour and a half away from the Washington Huskies game. I will be live streaming it here on YouTube. Keep an eye out for that. Got a big game today, actually. I mean, kind of, in that we better win it if we want to make a bowl game this year. But we got some Seahawks news that we got to talk about before we get to game day. And it's not good. And it's a little bit surprising, although maybe it shouldn't be. The latest from Brady Henderson. Yes, this does concern practice squad elevations, but we've gotten a piece of news that is much bigger than any practice squad elevation. George Fant has been placed on injured reserve. George Fant got injured in the first quarter in our first game against the Denver Broncos. He was trying to make his way back last week and this week. Ultimately, he could not make it back either week, but it really looked like he was making good progress. It really looked like he was on his way back, and that he was going to be able to quite realistically play next week. But I guess they saw something or found something they didn't like when he was trying to practice this week, and he did practice a lot, so this catches me by surprise a little bit. But for whatever reason, he's been placed on injured reserve. So that means he has to miss 4 games, and Brady Henderson goes into further detail here. Excuse me. He'll have to miss the next 4 games. So it does not retroactively count the Patriots game. So that means that he will not be able to play against the 49ers in week 6, and he can play in week 7 against the Atlanta Falcons potentially. But the fact that this guy was seemingly making progress towards coming back, and then suddenly the rug gets pulled out from under him, it does make you wonder how long this is going to take. Is this something where he could miss 2 months? Is this something where they might eventually just have to put him on the full season injured reserve? It's certainly possible, and there's a wide range of possibilities right now, and I think it would be a waste of time to really try to speculate, because the IR that you can return from is inflexible. It's either 4 weeks or 4 weeks. There's no way to stretch it out or push it in so it's only 2 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. It's just 4 weeks, and then they see what's up. So clearly, they think he's going to be out for at least 4 games. Would not be surprised if it's more at this point, but again, trying to exactly estimate what it might be, probably not a good use of time. But the problem is, that is your backup right tackle out for the period of time where we needed him the most. The period of time where Abe Lucas is not going to be available. So this is a blow. As bad as George Fant looked in the first quarter against Denver, I know that he's better than Stone Forsythe. And that's not even really hate to Stone Forsythe, who I think has played okay, given who he is and what he is. But he is a third-string tackle. He is our third-string right tackle, really. Lucas and Fant were both ahead of him. A third-string right tackle in this league shouldn't be any good. So Forsythe is doing what any reasonable person could expect of him. Now, we did sign McClendon Curtis off the practice squad to take George Fant's place for the next few weeks, so that's the nominal replacement. But we know that McClendon Curtis is not really a tackle. When he plays tackle, he gets destroyed. So we are now in a situation where if Stone Forsythe gets dinged up, it's going to go from bad to worse. Like, Stone Forsythe is bad at playing tackle on the right side, but he's not terrible, I think. I don't think he's been terrible so far this year. He's been certainly flawed, but I think that there have been some silver linings there. McClendon Curtis would probably offer none of that. He's a guard. If you put him in a guard, I think things can be okay, but you try to play him at tackle, he's just going to get beat around the edge the whole game. I don't think he can hold up out there. So now things have gotten very thin. I do want to be clear about something, because I know the way the narrative is going to take over the story here. This is not... The Seahawks have done what they can. I want to be very clear about that. You can't have all pros at every position, and you can't have all pros backing up every position. They went out there and spent money and resources on bringing in George Fant to back up Abe Lucas because they knew about the potential situation with Abe Lucas. And then he got hurt in the first quarter. That's just really bad luck. So I'm not mad at anybody for this. I'm not blaming anybody for this. They tried to mitigate their risk at the right tackle spot. It hasn't worked. And it sucks. But I know some people are going to say, oh, we never invest anything in the offensive line. There was an investment here. They tried. It's just really not worked. And I don't know when Abe Lucas is going to come back either, but there's a real chance that by the time Fant gets back, Lucas is already back. And then Fant just kind of wasn't there for when we needed him, and he'll be there when we don't need him. At least that's what we would hope, right? Because we would want Lucas to be healthy. So get ready for the Stone Forsythe experience for the next at least 2 games, probably more. Abe Lucas is eligible to return in week 5, but we have no idea if he will. I kind of feel like he won't, but that's not really based off anything. So get ready for the Stone Forsythe experience for a little bit longer. And I know people are going to ask about it. No, I don't think there's anything we can do externally to improve on that. I think you just got to roll with what you got. I don't think any trade or free agent signing you make is going to make this better. All right, so that's the big news right now. George Fant goes to IR, going to miss at least the next month. We also have practice squad elevations for this Miami, still not feeling too great over here, Miami Dolphins game. Patrick O'Connell, inside linebacker, which makes sense because of Jerome Baker probably not playing. And outside linebacker Tyus Bowser has been elevated as well. So there was some interest on whether or not it would be Bowser or Sheriff. It's Bowser. And that does indicate on some level that there is at least a little bit of concern that Boye Mafe, I think Mafe will play, but he may not be able to do everything that he normally does and play as much as he usually does. So O'Connell and Bowser are elevated. Some people might notice no running back. That means we've got 2 running backs on the active roster tomorrow, McIntosh and Charbonnet. So really hope we feel comfortable using McIntosh in this game because I don't want to give Charbonnet all the snaps the way we did last week. That's not a recipe for success. We've also re-signed Marquise Blair to the practice squad with the spot they opened by signing Curtis to the 53, so welcome back, Marquise Blair. He gets another practice squad check this week, I guess, so good for him. Pretty cool. And on the Dolphins side of things, real quick while we're here, Grant Dubois has been put on the injured list, so they did finally decide they're going to keep him out for a while. And Tim Boyle has been signed off the practice squad, rather. So maybe he gets involved. It depends on what happens with their quarterbacks in this game. Their quarterback situation's obviously a mess right now. Kind of interesting thing here, though, is D. Eskridge will be elevated. So we're going to see D. Eskridge. He might do something in this game. And Eric Ezukadma, another wide receiver, also getting elevated. But obviously Eskridge is the one that we're kind of interested in here. So, yeah. That is the situation with the practice squad elevation. So, bad news today, but you know, we knew we were going to have to deal with Stone Forsythe for 1 more game, so what's the difference between 1 more game and 2 more games? All right. Hopefully it's 2 more games. Hopefully by then we get Abe Lucas back, but I'm not holding my breath there either. All right. I'll catch you guys later. Go Hawks. See you guys in like an hour and a half for the Huskies.